G'day trendsetters, this will be growing microgreens the My Veggie Garden way. If you come here looking for a commercial way of growing microgreens or in pots, that's not what I'm here about. This will be for growing in like little nooks and crannies in your gardens, unused spaces somewhere, and you can just pop these in and have a nice little rotation going. If you've got some poor soil or you've got a little area of garden you want to work up a bit, this is a good way to get it started. You just start with what I've got here is some snow peas, and then you can cycle through the crops. There's plenty of stuff you can grow as a microgreen. I've got the pea shoots here. I'll follow them up with lettuce, then I'll follow the lettuce with rocket, then I'll follow the rocket with probably radish, and I can follow the radish with broccoli. Anything that grows reasonably quick or shoots reasonably quick from seed, and you know, it's got a bit of leaf, because that's all you're after is the initial flush of growth, and you're cutting that down, and that's what makes your microgreen. Now, having said that I want to do that, I'll do that in little nooks and crannies all over the garden. If you want, I can show you how to do microgreens in pots or containers. It's a little bit different. It's, just your potting mix is a little bit different, and there's a little difference in the strategy of sowing seeds. But anyhow, moving on. I sowed these 3 weeks ago. They're about, I'd say, 2 inches tall. So then they'll be another week before they're the size that I'd like to harvest. So that's about 4 weeks from sowing seed to harvest. The other thing is that this harvest will probably only last me about 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks I'll be putting in another batch of peas, and then follow the whole cycle right through. And I'll always have, once I get up to speed and everything catches up with itself, I'll always have some sort of microgreen. And at one stage I should have the whole 4 or 5 crops available to me at any given time. So that was the first lot. I sowed these last week. I was not that well, so I didn't get this lot in on time, but they should be up sometimes towards the end of the week. And what I'll do now is take you up. I've got another little, like I said, another little nook where I'm going to plant another batch. This is just a snow pea. The snow pea I think is better, will give you a better tasting shoot, because you can eat the pod and everything, so the whole stem has got flavour in it as well. I've had these seeds soaking for about 5 hours now. The only reason I don't normally soak, but the only reason I soak pea shoots is just to increase or shorten the length of time for them to shoot. And it also improves the germination strike rate a little bit. But anyhow, we'll move up to where I'm going to plant these, and I'll show you what I do. And that'll be the end of part 1. When I've finished harvesting, I'll come back and we'll do this. I'll show you part 2 and then part 3, 4 as we go through the whole cycle. A few things I'd like to mention before I get started. I've got all my supplies here. You really don't need much. All you need is a little patch of ground. But the reason why I'm making a video on microgreens is that over on my Facebook page, my Veggie Garden Facebook page, I made a comment about microgreens in one of my comments, and a lady, Rebecca, asked me how you do that. So I said, well, I can make a video if you like. And she said that'd be good. So this is the video for Rebecca. So I hope this is helpful for you. Second thing I'd like to mention is I just buy seeds from the reject shop, which is just across the road. It's $1.69 for a packet, and one packet is enough for me at each sowing. But if you want to do it on a larger scale, Eden Seeds, which I'll put a link to in the description below, you can buy good seeds from them, organic seeds if you want to go that far, from from their online store in bulk. I think it's 400 grams for $11 or $12, and you can buy a kilogram for 20 or something like that. So that's keep you in pea shoots and whatever else you want to grow for heaps of time. Their seeds are more than adequate, or they're even good if you want to go that far. I've had no trouble with them at all in the past. Right, so supplies. What you'll need is a handful of blood and bone, a bucket of compost, and your seeds, and a small patch of garden. All I do is just turn the soil over to the depth. This is my super duper trowel. It's about 4 inches. That's more than enough. So this works out to about 300 odd millimeters square, or a square foot in the old language. Break it up, level it out. Blood and bone isn't probably essential, but I just like to throw it on anyhow. Just a handful. Work that in a little bit, not a lot, just fluff it in. And that's it for soil prep. The seeds, get the water out. Basically just within that 30 centimetre radius, nothing fancy. Compost straight over the top, I like to go about 1 inch thick, 25 millimetres if you like. And one thing I forgot was my sugarcane mulch, which is the icing on the cake. I'll just go and grab it. Yep. And I like to put this on about 1 inch thick as well. Give it a really good water. Depends on a bit on the weather. Do I water daily or every second day? Even at this stage, I might give them the initial watering. I might use a bit of sea salt just to help them out. And in 2 weeks, or inside of 2 weeks, you should see some little shoots sprouting up. And a couple of weeks after that, you'll be harvesting your first lot of microgreen pea shoots. Anyhow, let me know what you think. If you'd like to see one on pots, let me know in the comments, that'd be great. Or anything else, if you think I missed a step or I should have included something, I'm more than happy to hear from you. But that's it from me for growing microshoots, and we'll come back in a couple of weeks when I finish harvesting that first lot of pea shoots and I plant the lettuce. Alright, cheers for now, and we'll catch you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It will go a long way to keeping this channel alive. Thanks, cheers.